Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel. Last night when I went to bed, the classic thing happened. Chelsea news started flooding out of the taps as if there had been a flipping monsoon and Noah's going to have to be called to get his ark out again to save us. We might need that, you know, because what Chelsea are doing, and I'm going to look at all the different angles to approach this today. Chelsea are selling some of our best players to strengthen a rival. And I know what you're saying here, but you've said that Havertz has been awful all season. Oh, he has. But he's not been playing in position. He's played under 4 different managers, and a couple of which are nothing even near the top half when it comes to Premier League quality managers. Kai Havertz, 24 years old, 2 years left on his contract at Chelsea, is heavily wanted by Mikel Arteta at Arsenal. You may look at that Arsenal team and be like, well, where is Kai Havertz going to play? And that is the painstaking truth that we need to accept, and I want to enlighten some of us on in today's video. Mason Mount, Kai Havertz, Mateo Kovacic and Conor Gallagher. All 4 of these footballers who are currently contracted to Chelsea are good footballers. Some of them are magnificent footballers. Some of them in the right team, under the right management, not at a club under complete and utter chaos, will be world beaters. And unfortunately, this is the acceptance that we need to go through now. First of all, you accept that Chelsea Football Club finished 12th. No European football next season. More English clubs in Europe next year than in any other season prior. Chelsea aren't involved. Why is that? Because we were awful. We were ran atrociously. We fired Thomas Tuchel. We hired Graham Potter. We let Bruno Saltor take over and we hired Lampard and spent 600 million. And overall, the way that you put all of these things together in a concoction, you come out with the word dreadful. As a result of that, players want to leave Chelsea. Players do not believe in Todd Boehly's project because most of the time, and this is the same for anything in life, as someone who buys into a vision, you buy into results first, and the word should always be a subsidiary. If someone tries to sell you the world, see how much of the world they've got first before they try and offer you a sale. And that is where Chelsea have absolutely shot ourselves in the foot here. And as fans, we need to accept that is where we are. Mount does not want to sign a new deal at Chelsea, not because he doesn't love Chelsea, which is the baseline level of analysis I'm hearing from some people. It's because he's had a falling out with the club. There has been a disconnect between the club that he loves and Mason Mount, and for whatever reason, between the lines of all of that, he doesn't want to sign a new deal. Chelsea are offering him good money. He doesn't want to play for Chelsea anymore. Mateo Kovacic won 4 Champions Leagues in his career, had probably the worst season I've ever seen from him, and has Pep Guardiola calling him up, a team that just won the treble, and you just know it works. Kai Havertz has been awful this season, and I think even he would admit that. Playing out of position, playing under 4 different managers. Most of them wouldn't even be able to manage another Premier League team again in the near future. And Arsenal want him under Mikel Arteta. You get that. Conor Gallagher. Okay, cool. He's got a lot of minutes this season, but again, no manager knew what to do with him other than just be like, right, we're struggling here. We need players that actually want to play football. That's how bad things got at Chelsea last season. Players couldn't be asked. Conor Gallagher was always trying his best. Gallagher was always putting in 110%, and that's why he got picked. But Tottenham come calling. Ange Postecoglou, it's like Chelsea want to do a midfield revamp, but I'm here, guys. Like, hi, my name's Connor. I'm a Chelsea player. I've been here all my life. I love this club, but you want to go and spend 200 million and leave me just, being the fighter again. Gallagher might want to go to Spurs too. And you could absolutely understand why. Because what Chelsea did with spending all of the money that we spent last year is we removed the identity by just wiping everything. And in the process of trying to spend all of that money on players, we tried to create something brand new with the people, with the paintbrushes, having no idea how to paint. Todd Boehly, Bedad Igbali, all of these guys come in. They don't have experience running a Premier League football club, let alone a Premier League football club of the stature of Chelsea Football Club. As a result of all of this, the disconnect between players, managerial staff, club hierarchy, fans, everything has hit such a point where it's like leaving your razor in the sea for 10 days and coming back and expecting it not to have rusted a little bit. Silly. Really, really silly. And now, Chelsea are in a position where, having spent 600 million quid, all right, Arsenal, Man City, Man United, line up. Have you got the money? All right, well, you don't actually need as much as the players probably valued at because they don't want a beer anymore. And some of them don't want to sign new contracts. We have put ourselves in this position. We have absolutely put ourselves in this position. And it isn't about being like, well, you didn't want Havertz to be at the club and now he's going to Arsenal, you want him there. What it is understanding that these footballers are good players. And the problem is Chelsea. Chelsea Football Club has been the problem the whole time. Mason Mount didn't just lose his footballing ability in the last 12 months. He didn't. It's been the fact that the club is ran like an absolute shit show. It's chaos. And as a result of that, Mason Mount knows his value. Mount knows what he can do on a football pitch. And he has all of the clubs who qualified for Europe's elite competition knocking on the door saying, we want you, we know what we're going to do with you, here's a project, here's a manager, Jurgen Klopp, Pep Guardiola, Mikel Arteta, Erik ten Hag, we know what we're doing here. And your man Pochettino has just come through the door, so you've got to remember how to spell his first name first before you start understanding what your role is. Mount is 24 years old. He's at a point in his career where he's earned the right to have the clubs that are after him. So as fans, the reason I bark on Twitter about I don't want to strengthen a rival, I get why we're having to do this because of the mess we made before. I don't like it. I'm not saying that the club are stupid for doing this. What I'm saying is we're going to look even more stupid as an entirety off the back of selling Kai Havertz to Arsenal, thinking he's not a very good player, but he will be good under Arteta at Arsenal. I'm sorry, he just will. Mateo Kovacic, ball-carrying midfielder under Pep Guardiola, £35 million. We thought we got a bargain with the form that Kovacic showed when we won the Champions League, when Lampard took over. Kovacic was our best player. We thought we had a bargain at 40 million. Selling him to Pep Guardiola for 35 million will make Chelsea look so stupid. Mason Mount leaving Chelsea at any cost because we couldn't get him to sign the contract because of the discord that we created between the club and him will make us look so stupid. And Conor Gallagher, I do think, could become a very good midfielder. And under Ange Postecoglou, an attack-minded manager at Tottenham Hotspur, I think he would be absolutely brilliant there as well. So the problem is, yeah, Chelsea is strengthening a rival. Yes, maybe we shouldn't be selling to them, but at the same time, look at all the players. They're players that want to stay in the Premier League. Gallagher doesn't want to go and move to flipping Dortmund. Mount doesn't want to go to Bayern Munich when he can play in the best league in the world. Kovacic loves it in England. He's got a family here. And he's got Pep Guardiola calling him up. Like, we have made our bed here and now we've got to lie in it. I think that is the simplest way of looking at these things. Yes, we can criticise the ownership by saying, well, don't go and sell them to rivals because we're strengthening them and we're trying to chase them. That's what I thought until I looked at the fact that it's now like basically Chelsea's entire midfield is going to go to Premier League rivals. And instead of just whining and complaining about it, we've got to really understand where we've got to make this even a thing in the first place. And it's our own fault. Not us as fans, but it's the club's fault. And these are the lessons that when you buy a club and you can't take out revenue for 10 years, Todd Boehly can't do that. He is going to understand that this little roller coaster ride, by the end of it, he might not even want to take the money out of the club because he might not want anything to do with it because running Chelsea, running a Premier League football club is a bloody difficult job, mate. And for now, you've got to deal with us fans saying, well, you're strengthening a rival. Arsenal, under Kai Havertz, will thrive. Manchester City with Mateo Kovacic have now got their answer to Phil Foden replacing De Bruyne in a Champions League final. If Rodri gets injured now, Kovacic just comes on, mate. John Stones, the most personality of any player in the Man City team, as Pep Guardiola says. If he gets injured, Kovacic comes in, bro. And he absolutely thrives. And Mason Mount of Manchester United, above them all, is the one that will hurt the most. Because no matter what anyone says, football fans have become so fickle. People forget very easily now just how good Mason Mount was. And under Erik ten Hag at Man United, with Casemiro behind him, Bruno Fernandes next to him, Mount takes the place of Christian Eriksen. That just does happen. And if it doesn't, well, at least he gets rested and doesn't have to play 60 games a season and gets burnt out. Erik ten Hag gets Mason Mount back to the level that he was before and more. And unfortunately, that is a result. All of these players that we've spoken about today is a result of the way Chelsea have spent money, alienated the long-term faces at the club, changed everything, and it didn't work. And now, as a result of that, we are going to strengthen rivals, and we are going to have to suffer losing some of our favourite players, but more importantly, this is all our own doing. And just wait. We will see the players that they are. And Chelsea need to hope that Pochettino is the man who, whoever is left, can be moulded into the same kind of players that we see under Eric Ten Hag, under Pochettino, under flipping Klopp, under Guardiola, and under Mikel Arteta. Managers who have a plan. Managers who know what the future looks like and know how to operate within the present. Poch, I really hope you're that guy. Otherwise, this conversation will happen again next year, and the year after, and the year after, until Todd Bowley's had enough and walks out and sells the club, probably to a government somewhere in the middle. Anyway, that's my thoughts on everything. Not happy about it, but I accept that's where we are. And I advise you guys to take a similar route with all of that, with the way you think, because it makes it a bit easier. Come on, you